Would you like to know the most Instagrammed town in the world and the reason that makes it so special, while knowing the most enormous ice cave on the planet, known as the Gateway to Hell? What would you think if on top of all that, you knew that in the country that invented Red Bull, there is a tradition that if a woman offers you a sweaty apple to bite into, she might intend to take you to bed? It probably won't surprise you to know that these and other curiosities make this country the birthplace of Arnold Schwarzenegger, or the most incredible child prodigy in the history of music, one of the most enigmatic and beautiful countries in Europe. Austria is also the place where one of our oldest ancestors was found, and the country that contains the oldest restaurant of the old continent, with more than 1,000 years old. So don't miss this new video of Uncensored World, because we assure you that everything in it will surprise you. Austria is a country located in the heart of Europe, bordering Germany to the north, Slovakia and Hungary to the east, Slovenia and Italy to the south, and Switzerland to the west. Taking all this into account, it is not difficult to imagine that this location gives it a unique geographical and cultural diversity in the world. One of the most outstanding features of Austria are the Alps, the most impressive European mountain range that crosses a large part of the country. The Austrian Alps offer dreamlike landscapes, with snow-capped peaks, green valleys, crystal-clear lakes, and picturesque alpine villages. These mountains are not only impressive for their natural beauty, but also offer a wide range of activities, such as skiing, hiking, climbing, and mountain biking. It was in the midst of such beauty that in the year 1991, near the Similon mountain, on the border between Austria and Italy, two German mountaineers found the mummified remains of a hominid they named Ötzi, better known as the Iceman. You may be familiar with this name since Ötzi is considered the oldest natural mummy in Europe, an ancestor who is estimated to have died around 3250 BC. As surprising as this is to know that Austria is known worldwide for another reality that also has a lot to do with the passage of time. And the fact is that, just as the oldest ancestor of the continent is found here, the oldest restaurant in Europe, and one of the oldest in the world, has also existed in Austria since the year 803 after Christ. This recognition is not surprising, since more than 1,200 years after its opening, the St. Peter Stiftskulinarium, as this restaurant is called, is still serving dishes. There are legends that claim that Christopher Columbus himself ate in this restaurant, a legend surely more difficult to verify than the one that says that Mozart or the founder of psychoanalysis Sigmund Freud actually ate here. It is easier to believe this last reality since Mozart was born in Salzburg in the year 1756. Mozart is considered the most gifted child prodigy in the history of music, since he started playing the harpsichord and violin at a very early age, and composed his first musical works almost from the cradle. At the tender age of only 5, Mozart was already composing musical pieces and playing different instruments with astonishing dexterity. His prodigious musical ability amazed many of his contemporaries and remains astounding even today. In addition to Mozart, other renowned Austrian composers, such as Ludwig van Beethoven, Franz Schubert, Johann Strauss II, and Gustav Mahler, have contributed significantly to the country's musical legacy. These talented musicians have cemented Austria's reputation as a cradle of music and have set a standard of excellence that has inspired generations of musicians around the world. In addition to its musical legacy, Austria has also left a significant mark on the field of modern psychology. Sigmund Freud, born in Freiburg, now part of the Czech Republic but who spent most of his life in Vienna, is widely recognized as the father of psychoanalysis and one of the most influential thinkers of the 20th century. His revolutionary theories on the unconscious, sexuality, and the human mind laid the foundation for the development of modern psychology. In addition to Freud, other Austrian psychologists such as Alfred Adler, who founded individual psychology, or Viktor Frankl, have contributed to Austria's reputation as the capital of modern psychology. Taken together, the influence of these musical geniuses and pioneers of psychology has positioned Austria as a melting pot of both creativity and innovation in the world of the arts and human sciences. In addition to music and psychology, Austria also revolutionized the world by creating an energy drink that could give wings to those who consumed it. It was Dietrich Mateschitz, an Austrian businessman, who after traveling to Thailand in the year 1982, looking for a remedy to combat jet lag, found a drink called Krating Deng, which means Red Bull in Thai, an energy drink that gave him the energy he needed, and in Thailand helped to keep Thai workers fresh. Mateschitz took the formula of this drink to Austria, and there Red Bull was born, which is probably today the most popular energy drink on the planet. But if there is one person known worldwide today who was born in this country, it is surely Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold was born in Thel, a small Austrian town, in the year 1947.
Schwarzenegger achieved international fame as a bodybuilder, being one of the most prominent names in the world of bodybuilding in the 1970s. Although what led him to stardom was not having won for several years Mr. Olympia, which would be the highest global award for bodybuilders, but being the main protagonist of the famous film Conan the Barbarian, and later the legendary Terminator. With these films, he managed to break barriers and became an acclaimed movie star in Hollywood. Years later, Arnold decided to become the governor of the state of California, which shows the versatility of a person born in a small Austrian village in the middle of the Alps, and his ability to achieve success in multiple fields. Leaving aside its most illustrious characters, it is good to know another unique feature in the world that has to do with the geography of this country. Austria has no coastline, but despite not having the strength of the sea, the Austrians make the most of its waterfalls, rivers, and the large amount of water that falls from the fascinating and enormous Alps. That is why this country has large hydroelectric dams, such as Kölnbräin, which is the largest and most important in the country, and produces about 60% of the electricity of the entire alpine country.
A lot has to do with being one of the countries with the most mountains per surface area in the world.
While the northern parts of Austria are flat, the rest of the country is almost entirely mountainous. In fact, the beautiful Austrian Alps cover 62% of the entire country's territory, and more than two-thirds of the country is above 500 meters above sea level. Among all these, at more than 3,798 meters, the Grossglockner is the highest mountain in Austria. The best thing is that there is a beautiful road that will allow you to get almost to the top. This alpine road is the highest asphalt pass in Austria and will allow you to have a privileged view of the Alps. With some luck from these heights, you will be able to observe the entrance of what is known to be the largest ice cave in the world. This cave, located in the town of Werfen, has an astonishing length of 42 kilometers. This is how Eisriesenwelt is considered the largest ice cave on the planet, a place that was discovered in the year 1879, and that many considered at that time which could be the gateway to hell. If you have listened well to the beginning of the video, maybe now you are thinking that this cave is the most Instagrammed place in the world. But no, it is not Eisriesenwelt, but the village of Hallstatt, the place that has sometimes copied the #1 by number of photo and likes in one of the most famous social networks. By the way, thinking about likes, leave us one, as this is the way you help us grow and keep working every week to bring you videos as interesting as this one. So, thank you. Hallstatt is a charming village located on the shores of Lake Hallstätter See in Austria, a town that has captured the world's attention as one of the most picturesque and photogenic destinations on the planet. With its pastel-colored houses, cobblestone streets, and majestic mountains reflecting in the calm waters of the lake, Hallstatt has been for many weeks the most Instagrammed place in the world. Despite its small size, this picturesque village attracts an overwhelming crowd of tourists, multiplying so much its number of inhabitants during the high season that they have had to create an anti-selfie fence and different laws so that tourists can respect the inhabitants of this village, trying to keep away these hordes of tourists to this small and magical Austrian corner. Surely you will be interested to understand the reason for so much tourism and so many photos, and this is none other than its extraordinary beauty. Hallstatt's natural beauty has inspired not only travelers eager to capture the perfect scene for their social media, but also the creators of the hit Disney movie, Frozen. It is said that the Hallstatt landscape served as a model for the idyllic kingdom of Arendelle in the movie, making it one of the key destinations for many parents and children, as well as curious tourists. Some of the photographs taken in Hallstatt have reached an unprecedented popularity in social networks, accumulating millions of likes, and thus turning this hidden treasure in the Austrian Alps into one of the most famous villages in the world. But perhaps the most disconcerting curiosity of this country is not in its wonders or its people, but in one of the most amazing traditions that is still believed to be practiced today. A curiosity that has to do with women and men and an apple. Easily, this mixture can bring to mind the story of Adam and Eve, and although it does not have much to do with this biblical story, there are some things in common with this fable, since the fact of taking a bite of this apple also brings connotations of an intimate nature. This tradition is said to still occur today in some villages in rural Austria. This custom, although it may seem strange at first glance, is performed for one purpose: to allow women to court or insinuate themselves to men. To perform it, different women have to dance in front of a group of men with apple slices under their armpits. After a process of inspection by the women, in which they study the men in the room, they end up choosing a suitor and offering him a piece of the sweaty apple. This action may seem symbolic, but it really is not so much, since if the man corresponds to the feelings and pretensions of the woman, he must accept and eat that piece of apple, or at least take a bite. If he does, the fact would mean that there is a mutual interest, symbolizing a kind of agreement between the two that sometimes used to lead to the couple in bed. There are many voices that assure even today that many marriages, both young and old in the beautiful Austria, have been born fruit of this sweaty apple. Thinking about it, we take the opportunity to ask you, what do you think about this tradition? Would you bite the apple of the woman or the man you like even if he had kept it for minutes under his armpit? Pause the video and leave us your comment. Doing so is the best way you can help this channel and be part of the uncensored world. We love having you with us and reading you every week. So, thank you. With or without apples, as you are seeing, Austria is a country that you can easily fall in love with, since there are many wonders and curiosities that can be experienced in this beautiful country surrounded by mountains. Another aspect that makes Austria unique is its care and maintenance of what could be considered its best quality, the environment. And is that this country, apart from not having any nuclear power plant, is one of the places that most use renewable energy, using energy such as hydroelectric, wind, solar, and biomass to supply other countries. Thinking about it, it is good to discover another of its most incredible jewels, since Austria contains the highest and most impressive waterfall in Europe, as well as one of the highest in the world. These waterfalls are called Krimml and are located in the Upper Tauern National Park. With a total height of 380 meters, the falls cascade down in 3 stages. Surrounded by the breathtaking alpine scenery of the Austrian Alps, this is one of the most popular destinations for both nature lovers and hikers, as well as for tourists who want to experience Austria in the best of ways. In addition to the highest waterfalls, Austria also boasts the largest subway lake in Europe, Lake Gruner See. Located in Styria, it is known as the largest subway lake in the old continent, a place that, in spring, when the snow in the mountains melts, increases its level and flow, creating an impressive view that leaves anyone who can enjoy this spectacle with his mouth open. As you are seeing, Austria is one of the most amazing yet unknown countries in Europe, a place famous also for its coffee culture, as Austrians are among the largest consumers of coffee per capita in the world. Besides coffee, Austria is one of the countries with the best reputation as master chocolatiers in the world. If you visit Austria, you will probably start with its capital, Vienna, and it is here where you can find the Vienna Chocolate Museum, in Austrian, the Schokoladenmuseum Wien. This museum offers a delightful experience where you can learn about the history of chocolate and see live demonstrations of how chocolate is made, and better yet, taste it. Apart from the Chocolate Museum, another incredibly amazing corner in Vienna is the House of Numbers, the narrowest house in the country and one of the narrowest in the world. A place located in Vienna's District 1 that measures only 1 meter wide at its narrowest part. I hope you have enjoyed this fascinating country that combines the magic of fantasy towns with curiosities that would leave more than one speechless. From Uncensored World, we hope this video has inspired you to explore this incredible country and discover its unique charm. And we advise you not to miss the video that follows this one to continue enjoying the wonders, mysteries, and curiosities that make unique this beautiful planet called Earth. Click on it, you will enjoy it.